And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and movie review for the brand new origin film for Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe. That's right, G.I. Joe Snake Eyes is here, starring Henry Gold, and this is basically a reboot slash origin story of a new version of the G.I. Joe franchise character Snake Eyes. So if you never seen anything about G.I. Joe, buckle up, let's talk about it. So G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, or G.I. Joe Origin Snake Eyes, let's talk about it. So, you have Henry Gold, he plays Snake Eyes, obviously, and he's a very complicated person. When you meet him, you see something in him that's kind of like, okay, he might go into a path that's pretty cool. But then something happens to him that, as a child, pretty much turns his world upside down when he starts hanging out with the Yakuza people, and he's trying to get revenge on what happened to some family member of his, and he ends up meeting an early young man who is very wealthy. He's very, he has a ninja clan as well. He ends up being Storm Shadow in, the future, but this is before he becomes Storm Shadow, which is his worst enemy. He saves his life, and then the two of them become friends, and they pretty much have a bond. Unfortunately, there's a terrorist organization known as Cobra that shows up to start causing trouble, not only for Snake Eyes, but of course Storm Shadow and his entire clan and his family as well. And then you have Snake Eyes. He tries to do what he can to not only protect, the family that kind of taken him in, but also try to get revenge on what happened to his family member that he still is very, very angry about, and he has, dark intentions, and he wants revenge, and he wants all that. And then you see him go through the process of how he becomes who he's supposed to be, how he's supposed to become the legendary swordsman known as Snake Eyes, and meeting up with the G.I. Joes later on. And that's basically the gist of the film. And you know what? Honestly, I actually did enjoy this movie. I do enjoy this movie. When the trailer came out, it was a very short trailer. They didn't really give us a lot of good trailers. I'm gonna admit that right now. I did not like the trailers of this movie. The trailers were first of all, were very short. They didn't start getting long until like the third, fourth trailer before the movie was about to come out. The first sneak peek, the teaser, was like only 31 seconds, so that was like okay. Then the first official trailer was like a minute something, so there was that. And to me, it didn't really do anything. It felt like we were gonna get an origin story of him becoming Snake Eyes, which we do. And I thought it was just going to drag on and be boring, and it's like, oh, come on. But actually, when you watch the movie, it's actually kind of interesting seeing him go through these trials and him becoming who he is. It's like, oh, okay. And it made it fun. It made it pretty fun to see him go through this transition, meeting Storm Shadow before he becomes Storm Shadow, and how he learns some tricks and how he becomes who he's supposed to be. I thought that was pretty cool. It showed us an early version of what Cobra's supposed to be. That was pretty cool. In the beginning of the film, we do get a lot of shaky cam, and that was very odd to me how they were just like, oh yeah, here's the camera, and they were just going like that the whole, like, certain fight scenes in the beginning. It was just very odd and very weird and very noticeable too, very noticeable. But once the middle and the third and the fourth, the final acts of the movie, it got really better with the fight choreography, and the fight choreography was good. If the fight choreography was bad, then with the shaky cam would have been a lot worse. I'm talking about a lot worse. I'm just glad that the fight choreography was very good, so that way when the shaky cam scenes happened, it wasn't super bad and super terrible. It was just shaky cam. It was like watching some new guy holding a camera and moving around a lot. I mean, you can practice on that and get better, but still, filmmakers should be able to know how to hold the camera properly. But yeah, at the beginning, to me, felt very shaky cam, very badly too, and you can notice it. But then once the movie progresses, it starts to get better. So thank goodness for the fight choreography, and it worked. And the fight choreography was very, very good, and I enjoyed that stuff. Henry Gold was very good as Snake Eyes. I actually like him. And don't forget, this version of Snake Eyes is different from the G.I. Joe movie Snake Eyes. So I would assume if we're gonna get a G.I. Joe movie, it will be like a reboot that connects to this one, kind of like how the new Transformer movies are. Yeah, they're connected to the old ones, the Michael Bay ones, but they're also gonna be connected to Bumblebee. So it's gonna be like that once we get the new Transformers next year, kind of like in that same vein. So once we get a new G.I. Joe film, it will be more connected to the Snake Eyes origin movie rather than the other movies as well. They could connect it if they wanted to, but it would be just a slightly tiny little new version of it. But only time will tell. We have to wait and see. But I still enjoyed it. I had a lot of cool surprises in here. The actress who plays Baroness was great. Very small role. Also, the girl who plays Scarlet, who's actually a G.I. Joe character. And little spoiler there, but that's pretty much it. I do like her as well. I do wish she was in the movie more. Scarlet was not really in this movie a lot, and that was kind of unfortunate because I actually thought she stood out a little bit, and I kind of liked it. But you know, what can you do? I mean, obviously they were trying to focus on just mostly on Snake Eyes, and of course his relationship with Storm Shadow. And the guy who plays Storm Shadow, he was great. I liked him a lot. He was awesome. You know, a lot of his family members in the movie were cool and great as well. They all had their own personalities, and I thought they all did a really good job with the acting in this film. You know, some are better than others, of course, obviously. The fight choreography was great. I enjoyed all of that stuff. Like I said, just to me, the only negatives about this film I have was the fact that the beginning had like a lot of shaky cam, and I honestly thought it was gonna be like that the whole movie. But luckily, like I said before, the fight choreography was so good that it pretty much overshadowed the bad shaky cam from the beginning, and then the rest of the movie was just basically fine. So at least that. So I'll give it that. And I do wish Scarlett was in this movie a little bit more because I kind of liked her character and I kind of wanted to see more from her and what she brought. But since this was just an origin story of Snake Eyes, I understand why. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. You know, it's not going to be like the greatest G.I. Joe movie ever made. I still prefer the first original two movies more. But I still like this as a solid film. But it was a lot of fun. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Snake Eyes. Did you guys enjoy it? Not a fan of it? You guys, you know, don't really care for G.I. Joe? Do you guys wish we actually got a G.I. Joe movie instead of a Snake Eyes movie? And by the way, I think they changed his origin a little bit in the movie. I still enjoy that. He did talk in the movie. And minor spoiler here, doesn't get the costume to the end, which I kind of figured that was going to happen anyway. But you know what? Just to see how he becomes that character makes a lot of sense. So, it worked for me. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Stay tuned for more. And thank you very much. And have a good day.